How are you feeling?
Good. I have no complaints. I just want to win the game.
Fair.
It's sad.
How do you think Beth is handling the news?
I think she's handling it well.
Yeah.
She knows it's real now.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll give up or if she'll still go. I don't. That's what I'm not certain about.
I can't see her like fully giving up.
I think she's given up on me though, for some reason.
Yeah. Is that you burping in your shirt? I do think she was like working hard more on Kiefer.
Which is funny because it's surprising that she thinks she could turn Kiefer over me.
Yeah.
I think because maybe Kiefer's emotions. I think she sees that I'm stone cold.
Yeah, I think she probably knows that if she goes to, you're in a really good position. Do you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't make sense for your game.
To keep her. I told her that though. I'm like, doesn't make sense for me. I don't have to keep you. None.
Because you are in a good position that, I mean...
If I lose, I could be taken. If I win, I could go.
Not that you wouldn't want to be taken, but there's other people that will go before you.
Yeah.
For sure. So maybe she's trying to laser focus a little bit on Kiefer. But I don't think that Kiefer would believe her.
No.
At this point.
No, I know.
I don't know. It really is going to kind of come down to wins and who people think is best. Either people that they think that they can beat in a comp or who they can beat in the end.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I do actually think that you are probably in the best position in that regard. Mm-hmm. Only if you're looking at resumes, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to bring her out ASAP?
Checkmate. No, it's not. I wanted it to be. All right, who else we bring to the party?
Do you feel like, and you obviously wouldn't, like you don't have to tell me how you think you would get there, but do you see like an end game for you?
Like an end game in terms of like how do I win?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like there are many scenarios in which I can win.
Yeah.
But I feel that way about a lot of us. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like, I want to win to win. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's a chance. I look at if I lose, there's a good case for people to take me.
Yeah.
To final three. But if I win the next HOH, I'm in final three, and then I'd rather just win. Mm-hmm. But if I lose, I think there's people that could win against me based on their resume, which I think gives me a good chance to go to final two, but I don't know what people do.
Are you like dead set on how you think you would have to get to your end game or no?
No, I'm not dead set at all. I just think like if I win the HOH, then I'm in final three. Mm-hmm. Then I don't know who else ends up there.
Yeah.
I may have a say. If I win the HOH and the veto, I would have a say in who ends up there.
Yeah. Would you want a say? Like if hypothetically speaking, if you won the HOH and you know you're guaranteed to final three,
yeah.
Would you still gun for the veto, or would you almost want to be like...
Oh no, I'd probably, it depends. I think I would gun for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Right? But then, because then I would be a decision maker in that sense, and that's a resume thing, right? If I win the HOH and I don't win the veto, I guess that's not the end of the world to me either. It's just that it would be nice to have to be like, okay, I had a say.
Yeah.
If you don't win it, then you don't have a say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I there's many scenarios in which I see I could end up in the final 3 at least.
Yeah.
And then if I'm in the final 3, then
I feel like I would be shocked if you weren't in the final 3, to be honest. That would really surprise me. Because either you would win and take yourself there, which I think is like the greatest probability. I don't really see a scenario if you didn't win where somebody wouldn't take you.
yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So it's like I think there's a good chance that I'm in the final 3. I think, to be honest, like the whole thing happening with like the fake thing sucked in the sense that I had to do that. And
I understand what you did though.
But now looking at it now, the position I'm in now is actually better than I would have been
Absolutely.
after being that HOH.
I like looking at it now though, I understand why you did exactly what you did and why that would have been a good move for you, because it would have in the jury put you in a good position.
With Jed.
Yes.
And then you're the one that just got out Jed. Like there were reasons
Yes.
why like
Yeah.
I thought it was a good move at that time. Now I have a really different opinion because now I can play in the 4 HOH. And
Yeah.
it's a completely
Yeah.
different mentality.
Isn't it so weird? Like you're actually in a better position now.
Now, yeah.
Because you could have potentially been vulnerable too if you
Oh,
couldn't
100%.
play. in that.
100%. I couldn't play.
Especially if you would have actually, like if I would have just gotten out Jed and then you would have just gotten out me, and then you can't play in that one
Yes.
and you can only rely on the veto, you might have been even in a more vulnerable position.
I agree. It was
Yeah.
a worse position. That was actually a worse position.
Yeah.
That didn't end up happening. And then you didn't end up winning the HOH, which was another fear of mine. You or Beth winning it
Yeah.
would have been my worst case scenarios in my mind
Yeah.
at the time. Because I don't know what the hell, Beth. I just put you guys on the block. So I figured you guys would probably just put me up and then I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
I'm up there. Right? This way.
Beth still would have been one of mine that would have went up. She still would have went up. Who I would have put next to her, I don't know.
Yeah, that was my
I
biggest.
honestly don't know if it would have been you though.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I actually don't know, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I didn't. Kiefer said he wouldn't put me up, and then Braden said he wouldn't put me up.
Yeah.
So I knew from them, and I didn't put them up. So it's like,
Yeah.
I knew from that there was a good chance they probably wouldn't put me up, but with you and Beth, I just put you guys up, so that worried me. And and throughout a lot of this game, people put them up.
Yeah.
That's just been a trend,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, it's like the easier move to do.
it was really hard for me to say what would happen. But the game did kind of line up for me in a place where I feel like, yeah, I'm in a decent position, for sure,
Yeah.
right? And it just kind of lined up that way.
I know you though, like you don't want to be taken.
No, hell
Like
no.
I feel like that would piss you off more than losing.
Yeah, it would be. It would.
Do you know what I mean? Like if somebody was like, oh, I'm going to take Ty because I can beat him. I feel like that would bother you more
It would.
than somebody taking you out.
It would.
And I don't think that's your path anyway.
No.
But it is. I do think that you're in a good worst case scenario because then there's still 3 comps. Do you know what I mean? Like there's still 2 comps to get to the final one where you can still prove yourself. But I don't think that's the path that you want to success anyway.
No, that's definitely not what I want.
But it's not a bad spot to be in right now,
Exactly.
just in case.
The way this game lined up for me, like, turned out to be really good. Like, the moves that I knew I'd have to make, like, I just didn't see how they would play out.
Yeah.
But then when you were so down to work with me to get out Jed, I was like, holy, she's actually serious. Like, you actually put your whole game on the line to get Jed out.
Yeah.
Because in reality, I could have just screwed you, kept Jed, and then we're all just like, let's get Tera out.
Absolutely.
And you were like,
I knew that.
And you knew that was a possibility.
Yeah.
And still we're like, I don't care. That's what was so impressive to me. I was like, really? She really is like, she really believes that I would take out Jed rather than keep him and try to go far in this game with him?
Honestly, it was a huge risk. Like, it was like, is the risk better than the reward? But I feel like I always had a feeling about you that you cared more about your game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a risk, though, for sure. You could have, easily. You guys could have voted up Brayden. And then I just would have been next. But I think in my eyes, it would have been like, even if they did that, where does that leave everyone else?
What's the end game for that?
Yeah, how, and that was like, even in like conversations that we had had so many times, right? Like, how long does this loyalty go for you?
Yeah, you kept asking that. And it's
Yeah.
like, and if I had to give advice to anybody going forward in this game to play next time, it's like you have to really see the game open up. And when it changes from playing for you and your people to playing for yourself.
I think
And
if
that-
I wouldn't have won that HOH, you would have stuck with your people. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing I always wonder. If I won that HOH, who would I have put up? That's
Yeah.
a really good question. I don't have the answer to that. I don't think I would have won. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think it was for me to win.
Yeah.
Because if I had won that HOH, do I just put you in, like, would I put you and Brayden up?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Would I put you and Keith?
In that position, though, you probably would have had to. You know, like, do you know how many people wanted me to take that shot and no one would have done it? Because it would have, like, I didn't have anything to lose. So I could never commit, right? Like, it's like, I know by the conversations that I'm having with people is that no one else is going to do this.
If I had taken that shot at them at that time, had I won that HOH, I would have had to sit down with you, Kiefer, and Brayden
Yeah.
and say, hey, we're taking our shot.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would have to do. Like, you guys got to have my back.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work. I would have good reason to take it. Like, at that point, there were reasons.
Yeah.
Not as many as I had because you became HOH, because as you becoming HOH also exposed them even more to how
Yeah.
disloyal they were, which
Yeah.
gave me even more reasons to be like, I'm burning you guys, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? Way more reasons. So,
It's a very interesting, intricate game.
it is. And it really is like chess. It really is. You make one different move, the whole game is different.
It
Right.
did always like kind of like bother me though, like when people would be like, oh, like she's a liar, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that. And it was like, I'm being pretty transparent,
I thought you were.
you know?
I think part of it irritated me all game. I was like, listen,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you want to do? And they were like, no, wait, I'll tell you.
I wish that I could have like told you more, but
You weren't sure if you could. And that's fair because it's like, I'm not sure what information, like there's levels of information I bring back and there's obviously levels of information where like, no, I'm keeping that one to myself. And like, I guess you weren't sure what I would bring back or what I would keep to myself.
yeah.
Right? But I always knew deep down that like Jed and Beth were people you did not want to work with because you wanted one of them out or both.
Yeah.
And I knew that. That I knew. And I believed you.
And that honestly, like it never faltered. And maybe I could have like been a little more vocal with you that you were never somebody that I would want to see out, somebody that I would have wanted to work with more. But at that point, it was like things were just so visible,
Yeah.
right? Like,
You winning HOH is one of the best things that could have happened in this game.
yeah, for a lot of people, things could look differently.
The best.
And I knew if I didn't win, like it was only a matter of time.
Like the best thing.
Yeah, my time was like getting.
Because my thing was, I didn't know where your head was at until I sat down and spoke to you. And I was like, oh, we're doing this.
I remember even like when we were at the board and you were like, how come you always gotta wait till Thursday? And I was like, well, fuck, bro. Like, I can't tell you everything.
I was like, oh, we're actually doing this. Okay. I'm down. I'm
It was a
down.
great moment.
This is it.
So do you think does Beth know the depths of it or no? Because I won't tell her. It doesn't make a fucking difference to me.
The depths of the plan
Yeah.
to get him out?
Yeah, like
I
did
don't-
either you or Keith even tell her?
Not,
Because
like-
she hasn't asked me fuck all about nothing.
It's one of those things, not till we watch it back. Like, I don't think she'll fully understand how deep it was.
Yeah.
I think it's because that, like, that plan, I could still say at the end of the day, I was tricking Tera.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just wanted to have a choice. Or
Yep.
I planned to keep Jed and I changed my mind. Well, what I did tell her was, I just wanted to be in a position to decide.
Yeah.
And I knew about the whole plan.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be in a position where I could be like, should we keep him? Should we not keep him? But I think in my heart, I always knew you had to get rid. Like there was no other. If he was on the block, we're getting rid of him. Like, there's no.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to be. I had a whole week to think about it.
Yeah.
And even still, I was like, there's no way. I didn't falter. I didn't consider keeping him. It was like, no, he has to go.
Yeah.
I think what hurt Beth so much was that she felt like I led him on to believe that he was staying. He didn't want to know the answer. So
I didn't know it was you. I didn't know if you were going to waver, to be honest.
didn't?
Nope.
No, there was not a chance. It made no sense.
Even up until like this point, until you were like, I haven't told you, like I haven't made a promise to you, I haven't given you my word yet. I still was like, fuck, is he just gonna send me home? Are they just
This
gonna
week?
send me home? Yeah, it's like leading up to like whether the eviction's on like Wednesday or Thursday. You know, like until you were like, Tera, I haven't given you my word. I haven't promised you anything yet. I was like, oh, fair.
I haven't made any promises in this game that I haven't kept.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Nobody can go up there and say, I made them a promise and broke it.
Yeah.
That's not true. What I have said is, I've said things that I believed, or I believe this will happen, I believe that will happen, but I've never said, this is what I'm doing, and didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? And for you, I told you, I'm not voting. They can figure it out. If they're going to get you out, that's them.
Yeah.
I'm not voting. I'm not voting to evict you. There's no way. It makes no sense for me. And with Jed, I told you, I promised. I promised to vote him out. There's no doubt. And you kept me off the block? You didn't even have to do that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you put me on the block, I guess there was a chance I could go home. I don't think you wanted that either.
No.
So it's like the way you finessed that was perfect. And I'm just surprised, like Jed was, it's weird. He was very like, this is weird, I don't get it. And that scared me. And then we somehow talked him into it. I think that's also impressed by you too. Like, and you talked him into this? Me and you? I remember I told him, if this doesn't work, I'll go home.
Yeah.
If she puts me up, I'll go home. I'll volunteer. And he was like, okay, I'll do it. And
Crazy
that
shit.
to me is one of the biggest moves I have ever seen. Like,
I couldn't have done it without you though.
Couldn't have done it without you.
And I couldn't have done it. Like, do you know, like you couldn't have done it without me, and I couldn't have done it without you.
It was like, it was team execution.
And I still can't believe I beat him.
Oh my gosh, that's what I mean. Like, this whole thing is a movie.
Yeah. That's terrifying though. Like, I'm aware, like that makes me a big
Target?
target going into the 4. But honestly, like, it is what it is.
I think, yeah, going into the 4, I think it's like the real elephant in the room is how do people look at you versus Kiefer versus Braden and me? Like, how do people stack up our resumes?
Yeah.
I think Beth's been pitching Kiefer's resume heavy this week.
Yeah.
That's her argument.
I know. I
He's the
think he's
best.
upset about that.
He is.
He's like, can you just please stop advocating for me?
But the reality is like we all know what he's done throughout this game. It's not like we don't know.
Yeah.
So like, I think he's just irritated that she's like reiterating over and over again. You guys do not take him to Final 3, no matter who it is.
Yeah, she's like,
And she's putting that in our minds, drilling that. Because
Yeah.
if he's there, we are voting for him.
yeah,
And I'll make sure it happens. And like part of me does think, yeah, if Kiefer's standing up in Final 2, obviously he's going to be very hard to beat. He will pitch a very good case for his game. I know he will.
yeah,
But like, what do you want me to say? Like, I also think if he's standing there, he deserves it.
yeah. Fair.
I would vote for him.
I think anybody who's standing there,
Deserves it.
because there's still moves that have to be made.
Exactly, and that's the other part too. This game is not over.
No.
It's like it didn't end today. If it ended
No,
today,
no.
I mean, sure.
Beth is like for sure like the best bet for kind of everyone moving forward.
As a jury member,
No, like just as like if she like if you guys like rogue switched to keep Beth, I think it's detrimental to all 3 of you.
yes.
Just because she would make it to Final 2.
Yes, I know this.
If I stay, no one knows who's going to be in that final two.
Yes, and we don't.
It could literally be any of us.
And we all would rather that.
Any of us.
And we all would rather that, and we all don't want Beth in final two.
No.
So it's like, that's the thing.
Because even if she made it to final two, as much as everybody could think that like, oh, she's just going to take 20K, I could beat her. Not necessarily.
No, she can make a very good case for her game.
She's got cases.
And she's been making...
She was in on a lot of decisions. She had her showman use the veto on her, and she stayed.
She was making decisions from Latoya.
Yeah. She would have arguments.
She was making decisions before me and Keith ever were making decisions.
And if she won and then made a big move, like it's just...
Oh, she could win the game if she stays.
Yeah, like she's...
And she's probably guaranteed final two.
Guaranteed final two and could potentially win 100K.
Why would we want that?
Yeah.
Makes no sense for anybody. So it's like, yeah, in my opinion, she has to go. There's like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts on that one. So, yeah, that's how I feel about her.
I think everybody feels that same way. I know that for me, just because I am on the block next to her, that I'll feel like more comfortable when she actually walks out. Do you know what I mean? I never want to I'm not going to fucking celebrate when people say like Final Fours. I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
just in case, because everything changes. You don't know.
Of course, I totally get that.
But I do think that it makes sense literally for everyone.
It does. It actually does. I can't wait to see
It's
it.
kind of crazy too, like as she's like starting to leak things, like she knows a lot.
She does.
She's talking about like odd numbers, even numbers, because like when she was making that comment on the couch, I was like, oh shit, I don't know that stuff.
No, she does. She knows.
I don't know what other people know, but like I've been a solo player, as you could say, for like a little bit. Like I don't have anybody to compare notes with. I have information in my head. I don't know if all of it is correct. Even when she was talking about the calendar, like when you guys were like, oh yeah, well like Jed was able to count all of the eyelashes on the eye because there was 3 of us working on it. The information I have is the information that I have. I don't even know if it's right.
That's why that comp by yourself would have been difficult to do. So I can't imagine trying to remember that by yourself.
Oh, the unauthorized tapes?
That or the calendar.
The unauthorized tapes, I got that because Tina helped me with it. Straight up. And she was going out the door. But she was like, look, if you don't get it, you're following me right after. So we would just go over it and go over it and go over it. But when she was gone, I knew I can't rely on anybody else to share information with me. Nobody's going to. Who's going to help me study? Realistically. No one.
Maybe Kiefer.
No. I love Kiefer, but Kiefer came to win, right? 100K for Kiefer is like life-changing money for him. As much as I love him, we have a very good like personal relationship as people. He's not going to help me study.
You're probably right.
No, there's no way.
I know.
And that's fine. I would never even ask him to.
I don't even know what he knows. I have no idea. Because now he's all of a sudden playing dumb. So I actually don't know.
Nope.
Now he's saying he doesn't know his days, but there's a time where he's saying he did.
Yeah.